place to start really is I'd like to get a sense of what drew you to this project. You know, what it was it about it that made you say, besides obviously work, that drew you in and made you say you wanted to be a part of this?
Sweet, sweet money, baby. That's why I do it, that paper.
Yep.
No, I mean, the reason I do this is because I love sci-fi. I grew up on all those sort of time travel TV shows and tropes and action adventure, fantasy stories. So to actually be a part of one was a dream come true.
Yeah, I think for me, there was nothing else like it on television. It was very unique. It's Sean Ryan, it's Eric Kripke. And as an actor, to be able to do something very different every week was intriguing to me, and it reminded me a lot of the films that I love and reasons as to why I'm an actor. It reminded me of the adventure of Indiana Jones and the adventure of Jurassic Park, and kind of this awe-inspiring feeling that you get from watching.
And we do a completely different show every week. You know, you live sort of an actor's career and, you know, an individual's life over the course of multiple episodes. You know, no episode is the same, no set is the same, no time period is the same, which is kind of why you become an actor. You go, I want to be a different thing and go to a different place and explore a different part of life or history, and we get to do that every week on the show.
You know, one of the pitfalls of a lot of sci-fi shows is that it becomes more about the gimmick of the time travel and the opportunity to play dress-up, basically, for going to different times. Was there ever a concern, and if it wasn't, how do you think Timeless has avoided that? Because that is a problem of the genre.
Yeah, well, we're character-driven, you know. Eric Kripke, Sean Ryan, they're very character-driven writers. So, you know, although we do have the premise, which is time travel, going back in time and visiting these places, what gives you the tropes of playing dress up and seeing different characters, what they care about most of all is the sort of character development and where these people go as people.
Yeah, and Eric Kripke has said that the time machine is literally, but also metaphorically, just a vehicle to get these characters on an adventure every week. So the show is more about the historical adventure that we go on, less about how did that time travel work. I mean, of course it's there because that's what we're doing, but I think that was one of the goals that Eric specifically wanted to avoid, was getting too complicated, because you're right, doing a show like this can get really complicated really quickly. And I think everybody wanted to recapture that feeling of the early Spielberg movies that were just fun, less complicated.
Yeah, we try and stay away from the wibbly wobbly, timely-wimely stuff.
Well, I also like the fact that history changes, and it isn't like Back to the Future. Like, good Lord, Marty, we have to get the time stream back on track. Sometimes these changes happen and they stay. Yeah,
I mean, and I love Back to the Future. But yeah, I mean, and that's, yeah, we all do. And that's sort of the other fun part of the show, the curve we hit, which is that our decisions have ramifications. And how far do those ramifications reach? And, how does time try and just keep itself, and how does the universe try and just keep balance and be the thing that it is? And how much does it just go off and veer? And I think with each episode, we sort of play with which way it might go, which is sort of fun and the opportunity of it.
I think the stakes are already high because of that reason. As soon as you start the episode, the stakes are high because one small slip-up that these three make back in time could mean major ramifications in the future. Which
is what you see with Lucy's sister, and so you see it on a personal level, and then you see it, where we've affected history. We've become, minor characters in a Bond movie. So it's always interesting to see how it'll affect us, because sometimes it's very personal and sometimes it's very general.
How would you describe your characters? I don't mean their roles on the show.
Amazing.
But as people. Thank you. But as people, I mean, how do you view these characters?
Well, I think Wyatt is, despite his soldier hard facade, I think he's actually very soft and broken on the inside. Not to kind of go too deep, but the guy's had a lot of loss in his life, and I think because of that, it actually makes him a good soldier, because he tends to be I don't know if I want to say reckless with his life, but he doesn't hesitate to put his life on the line for the mission because of his past and what he's experienced and what he doesn't have. So,
yeah. And it's like you said, it's not reckless, it's that he's willing to sacrifice himself for a greater good. And I think you wind up seeing these layers, and you see that with all these characters. You wind up seeing a character that you think you know, and as episodes go on and as life happens to him, the same way it happens in real life, you wind up seeing all these layers to these individuals. Same with Rufus. Rufus starts out as a guy who doesn't want to go anywhere. He's scared to go on a pass. He's extremely hesitant for a million different reasons, both historically and personally. And then you watch him overcome all of these obstacles. And that's what good writing is watching people overcome adversity and watching the obstacles that they face and seeing the different ways in which they handle them.